1881. Burroughs and Collins Company of Conway, predecessor of modern-day Burroughs and Chapin Co., purchases land that would become Myrtle Beach from the Withers family. The area's first post office, Withers Post Office, opened 7 years later in 1888. 1899. The Burroughs and Collins Company receives a charter to build the Conway Seashore Railroad from the South Carolina General Assembly. The line is completed around the turn of the century, connecting Conway to the beach. At the turn of the 20th century, the first trains began running from Conway to Newtown on the new Conway and Seashore Railroad. This allowed Burroughs and Collins Co. to transport timber to and from the area near the beach and begin moving away from dealing in timber byproducts such as turpentine, which was waning in value. The line, which helped establish our area as a viable place for industry, was later called the Conway Coast and Western Railroad, 1904, and became part of the Atlantic Coast Line Railroad in 1911. 1901. The Seaside Inn, the area's first hotel, is built. At that time, oceanfront lots sold for $25, and buyers received an extra lot if they built a house valued at $500 or more. The hotel is later demolished in the late 1920s. 1907. The Horry Herald sponsors a contest to officially name the new town area. Mrs. F. E. Burroughs wins the contest with the name Myrtle Beach, which she chose for the many wax myrtle trees growing wild along the shore. 1912. The Burroughs and Collins Company's beach development efforts are rolled into a new entity called the Myrtle Beach Farms Company. Even as others such as John T. Woodside and Myrtle Beach Estates began to grab up much of the property around the area, Myrtle Beach Farms retained key portions of downtown, about 1,300 acres including the pavilion area and surrounding beach between 3rd Avenue North and 9th Avenue North. 1914. The first road for automobiles, a sand road which runs through the area now known as Socastee, is built between Conway and Myrtle Beach. Later this year, the town of Aynor in western Horry County is incorporated for the first time. As the Roaring Twenties became a prosperous time for much of the United States, the first signs of what was to come began popping up around the Grand Strand. As landmarks such as piers, hotels, and golf courses came to be, the framework for a thriving resort town was laid during this decade. 1923. After the first structure was lost in a fire, the Myrtle Beach Pavilion is rebuilt in 1923. The two-story wooden structure is larger than the original and sits oceanfront between what is now 8th and 9th Avenues North downtown. It would be gradually improved over the years and was expanded in 1938 before being hit with another fire in 1944. 1926. Ocean Drive Pavilion opens in North Myrtle Beach. In Myrtle Beach, the first iteration of 14th Avenue Pier in Myrtle Beach is built. Since its original incarnation, the structure, which now is a popular restaurant and fishing spot, has been destroyed and reconstructed twice, including most recently after Hurricane Hugo in 1989. 1927. The granddaddy of Myrtle Beach golf courses, Pine Lakes Country Club, opens as Ocean Forest Golf Course and Country Club. The club originally was home to a 27-hole course, but it was changed to an 18-hole layout in 1946. Also in 1927, the Pleasant Inn is built along Broadway Street in Myrtle Beach. 1928. Chapin's department store opens in downtown Myrtle Beach. Around this time, the first Myrtle Beach High School is dedicated and a grass landing strip near the current Mr. Joe White Avenue and Seaboard Street begins to function as the area's first airport. Growth in tourism and population continued at a steady pace throughout the 1930s, with many changes coming to the Myrtle Beach area late in the decade, including its official incorporation. The downtown area also continued to develop with the addition of amusement park rides near the pavilion area and a paved, concrete walkway replacing the former wooden boardwalk. 1930. One of Myrtle Beach's first resorts, the Ocean Forest Hotel, opens for business. The 10-story hotel cost nearly $1 million to build. The area's first miniature golf course opens at the corner of US 17, Kings Highway, and 9th Avenue North. 1931. Construction begins on Atalia, an elaborate home built in the Spanish style of Moorish architecture by Archer and Anna Huntington. The castle, completed in 1933, is still open to the public inside Huntington Beach State Park. 1935. The Myrtle Beach News newspaper begins printing. The paper would later merge with the Myrtle Beach Sun to become the Sun News, which remains the area's only daily newspaper today and is now owned by the McClatchy Tribune Company. 1936. As building begins to boom at the beach, area transportation gets a boost with construction completed on the Intracoastal Waterway and the opening of the Myrtle Beach Train Depot. In addition, 2nd Avenue Pier is built and Myrtle Beach's first theater, Ben's Broadway Theater, opens. 1937. One of the cornerstones of the downtown landscape for decades to come, Peach's Corner Restaurant opens. Around the same time, the Gloria Theater, later called the Fox Theater, opens on 9th Avenue North. 1938. Myrtle Beach is officially incorporated as a town, with Dr. W. L. Harrelson serving as the first mayor. Though no one would have expected an eventual explosion of high-rise hotels and family-friendly attractions, signs of growth were already strong. The same year, the original Pawleys Island rope hammock shop in Pawleys Island and Washington Park Racetrack open in Myrtle Beach.